Hi angels, welcome to Earth Angel Energy. I'm the Earth Angel and today I'm bringing you another pick a card reading, and today's topic is why do you have people shook? So if you got people shook around you, why? I have 3 piles for you, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead and take a second, see which pile resonates with you, and we will go ahead and get started. Hi pile 1. So if you chose the first pile, then this is your reading on why do you have people shook. Okay, you may have had like a serious glow up from childhood. This could be physical, this could be career, this could be confidence. There's something here about a pretty big transformation from when you were younger that I feel like has people pretty shocked. Now, along with that though, there's something about you maintaining something with the Four of Wands, the Strength, and the Wheel of Fortune. So this could have been like connections, this could have been maintaining yourself physically, maintaining your standard of living, maintaining your success. There's something here where not only have you had a pretty positive transformation from when you were younger, but it hasn't been short-lived. Something about something being permanent or seeming permanent that has people pretty shook. So for some of you, you could be in a relationship that's doing really well. For others of you, you're in a really good career. For some of you, you had like a physical transformation and you've maintained it. I don't know. I'm also getting with this Page of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the Page of Swords. People honestly from your past or from your younger years could see you or maybe see updated pictures of you and be really shook by that as well. It's almost like, how did I not know that they were like that attractive? Or how did I not know that they were so good at that? Or they were able to achieve these things? I'll be honest, for some of you too, something about your independence or your ability to maintain independence has also had people shook. And moving away from a situation and maintaining stability. I don't know if there was somebody who felt like after you left someone or left a situation that you were gonna like not be able to maintain it, or if it was only gonna be temporary for you. Somebody thought you were going to do something or reach a certain destination and be there for 15 minutes and that would be it. But that's not the case. 4 of Wands. I will say this too. I think for a lot of you, and the 10 of Cups with it. Yeah, okay, 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. I feel like your family's honestly really shook by you, especially if you've kind of gone off and done your own thing. I feel like they're really shook in a good way by your strength and your ability to maintain a level of stability here. People could also be shook either by your financial success or by your career success. I mean, some of you have a family, people are also shook by that. 9 of Swords. There's something here about like financial stability. I know we get this a lot, and here's this past energy. So this comes up on my channel a lot. But no matter what your financial situation is, you come off either very affluent or very successful. And I'm getting like this sort of anxious energy a little bit where like people, especially from your past, are seeing you and they're shook because either you started out from a pretty good background and you've maintained it or grown, you know, what you were born into, or you weren't born into like a huge amount of stability and you were able to multiply that. Ace of Cups. Okay, Queen of Swords. I'll be honest, I've seen like a radical kind of change in your energy and your demeanor. I feel like in the past you could have been very open, very warm, very loving, like very much an open book when it came to maybe even like wearing your heart on your sleeve, wanting love, wanting approval. But now you're coming through as a Queen of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So you either seem like a lot of love comes to you or you have a lot of self-love. You seem very satisfied in the love department. You don't seem like you're desperate for other people's love or approval. With the Queen of Swords, so you're coming through as a Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Someone successful, someone very smart, someone who's able to bring a lot of like stability or I just heard profit to themselves. I'm just seeing like this big flip. It's like if you were really open, if you had like a strong desire for love or approval, it's like you've replaced that with self-sufficiency, determination, and a very like affluent vibe. Yeah, the Sun, and you seem very happy with the 3 of Pentacles. You're collaborating with people, you're building with people, or people are collaborating and wanting to build with you. You're loved or you're in love. If some of you are in a relationship, people are shook by that as well. 6 of Cups, there's a lot of past energy and like past people being really shook by you. Okay. Man. Look at that. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of preconceptions about your life. Like, I feel like some people really don't have that much information on you, but they're kind of making assumptions based on maybe like what you present or what they hear, if you've got like social media or mutual friends. You seem like you live a very charmed life. Especially if there was something in the past where someone felt like they broke your heart, or if you wanted them or something. People feel like you could care less at this point, if I'm honest, with the Ten of Wands in reverse. People are shocked by some sort of very happy, stable, charmed life you have. Some of you, your life could either look very glamorous or look very cushy, luxurious. And keep in mind, you know, I see this so often, especially for my collective. I've seen it for myself where I'm like, you know, I'm working, like I've got things going on, but people are like, oh my gosh, like you seem like you just live this like such an easy life and da-da-da. I'm like, Hierophant. No, like I'm putting in the work. But from the outside looking in, like I don't really complain about my challenges. I don't really tell people about kind of my day-to-day. I usually just kind of share when things are, you know, coming together and share about my successes. And so people usually assume that it's all success and no challenges. And I feel like that could be the same thing for you. I don't know if when you were younger, people knew more about like your hardships or your stresses or anxieties, but you don't share that now. I'm just seeing like, wow, like they're doing really well. Like, especially if you dealt with anxiety or sadness in the past or felt like someone hurt you or something. People just kind of feel like you're living this very charmed life. It's almost reminding me a bit of, you know, Cinderella. Like, just like the simplicity of that story where before, you know, she was beautiful and she was sweet, but she had kind of a hard time. And then at the end of the story, she's like this beautiful princess and she's with her prince and she's living in the castle and it just all looks very beautiful. It's giving me sort of like this Cinderella story vibe. That's honestly really how it feels to me. You know, regardless of your gender, it's like people remembered you as being honestly very beautiful, very warm, very loving. And like, I feel like that happens all the time though, and it's really unfortunate, but like good people just kind of going through a hard time. And you know, a lot of you, and I'm sure we can all relate to this, you were younger, maybe you didn't have those boundaries, you didn't have that foundation of like strong self-esteem yet or strong self-worth, which is normal, especially if you're young. But you grew out of it. And you grew through it and you realized, you know, the best investment is investing in people who invest in you. And because of that, it seems like you've really blossomed and curated a very beautiful, abundant life. You look great. You look successful. You look happy. I don't think you really share many of like your challenges. And we all have challenges. But because you don't advertise them, it kind of just seems like, you know, you found your happy ending. And once again, this is a work in progress. I'm sure you have plenty of adventures and exciting things ahead for you. But for right now, people just kind of feel like, you know, it's happily ever after. And they're shook about it. It's really sweet though, honestly. I love your energy and I'm happy for you. I think you do have a lot of things to be grateful for. I think you have challenges like we all do. But it seems like your life is moving, honestly, in a very beautiful direction. All right, that's what I have for you, pal. One really nice energy for you. I do hope you enjoyed that. I hope that resonated for you. Thank you so much for being here. And special thank you to my Patreon patrons, those who book personal readings with me, and my channel members who get to watch these picket cards early. But thank you all so much once again. And until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 2. So if you chose a second pile, then this is your reading on why do you have people shook. Okay. Pile 2, I'm gonna be honest. When I first pulled these cards for you, I was like, what the heck is going on? I took a second and then I realized what it is. So pile 2, I don't know if you've been like opening up more, speaking your mind, or just becoming a little bit more deliberate in like your standards, your communication. With the Moon Queen in reverse, that's my High Priestess in reverse. That's letting me know that if you were being a little bit more closed off, a little bit more secretive or something, or just kind of letting things fly, not speaking up, not really speaking your mind, I feel like that's starting to change, and this has people really shook. There's something here, I'm going to be honest. I feel like people see you as someone who is very intelligent, But also someone who really doesn't complain a lot, or just is very like live and let live. With that Page of Cups energy, you could be very understanding, loving, kind. Now with the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords, I don't know if you're letting people know that like there's things you're not happy with, if you're kind of calling people out, or just like speaking your mind more on things that you're judging. So I'll be honest, you could be like calling people out for their behavior. You could call people out for their beliefs. There's something here where you're starting to speak up a little bit more, or talking more about your beliefs or your opinions that has people really shook. Okay, the Devil here with the the Devil and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Like, I'll be honest, with the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, I think people are realizing that you had some stuff in the chamber. You know what I mean? Like, I think you were really known as that person where I think people knew you had opinions, but like you weren't really gonna like say anything. You were just gonna kind of let people do their thing, or you could have been very like egalitarian, yes, but sort of like, you know, you can have your opinions, I'll have my opinions. You might have even also not spoken up about like uncomfortable things or controversial things, even though you had really good, solid opinions on it. Yeah, it was sort of like that tightrope walk. You know, maybe you have that friend or that family member who has really terrible opinions, or they're really, you know, mean about things or something. And you could have just kind of let it slide, and you're not really doing that anymore, and you have people shook. Eight of Cups. Wow, Tower. Yeah, with the Temperance. Now, for some of you, if you've walked away from people to preserve your peace or disconnected from people, they are really shook by that too. Also, something about you walking away from situations or people and your life obviously being better and more balanced has people shook. It's sort of like, was I the problem? I see a really big transformation in your energy here. I don't know if you left a lot of people behind, or if you've kind of told a lot of people off or something. The Chariot, and you are moving. I just heard you release the shackles. So if you felt like you were tied down to by people's opinions or your obligations to people or something, oh my gosh, yeah. And you're like fired up, speaking your mind, living your life, living in your truth. This could be an energy you're moving into if this doesn't resonate for you, because I feel like this is an energy you've been holding on to for a long time. Nine of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love your energy though, pile too. Because it feels very much like, I don't know. One thing I will say is this. It feels like you were holding on to a lot of energy that was kind of, there was sort of a hovering of like toxic energy there. So it wasn't like you were, like people were just being very like neutral and being very like healthy and non-toxic, and you were just kind of letting them. I see some sort of toxic energy that you are just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not just going to sit silent, or I'm not just going to co-sign this with the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Empress, but it's for a good reason. Like, you seem happy, you seem stable, you seem self-assured. It's like, this is for the greater good. Not allowing this toxicity or this negativity is for the greater good for me. Yeah, King of Swords, like, you're just speaking your mind and people are shook. Page of Swords. Yeah, with the Page of Swords and the King of Swords, I don't know what has happened. This could be an energy you're moving into. This could have been a new change for you. Now, I'm not really getting the sense that, like, you never had any opinions or anything. I just think you only shared them maybe with certain people or in certain situations. And there's something here where you're really just kind of opening up. You're not even being like, so here's the thing. It's not giving me a bad energy, though, because I'm getting that a lot of people actually really value you, value your opinions, value what you have to say with this Empress and the Nine of Pentacles. People see you as someone very successful, someone intelligent. And I'll be honest, you not saying anything kind of made them think like, okay, well, I really like pile two, and they don't think this is a problem, or they didn't say anything, so it must be okay. Something about you speaking up has people kind of shook. Like, oh, like they have an opinion on that, or that's what they think. Yeah, the Star. With the Four of Wands. This could be family. This could be friends. Yeah, Emperor. It's almost like, I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, there's two friends, and there's one friend who, like, is that great person. You know, they got their life together, they got a great relationship, they got a great job, everything is great. And you really look up to them. And then there's the other friend where maybe they're, like, seeing somebody where, like, they know it's probably not the best person to be with, but, you know, that great friend didn't say anything. They're like, yeah, you know, if you like him, like, date him or whatever, right? And so they continue seeing this person that's not great for them. And then eventually that great friend says, hey, you know, I'm just going to tell you, this person is not right for you. I don't think they're a good person. Like, I really personally wouldn't endorse your relationship with this person. And then all of a sudden, your friend that you look up to so much, they're like, oh my gosh, like, I love my friend. I admire them so much, and they don't think this person's right for me. Instead of being mad at the friend, they're like, you know what, maybe I should stop seeing that person. Maybe you're right. There's something here where you have people in your life who, like, really think you are great, like, truly. And if you say something, like, you expressing an opinion, if they've been kind of teetering on a fence, there's something about you not saying anything that made them feel like, well, I guess it's okay, or I guess it's not that bad. But if you've been speaking up about something, it's making people really question. Like, really question. Especially if there's people in your life who've been kind of like, well, you know, when people just kind of like dig their heads in the sand, or, you know, they kind of just stubbornly stick to a belief or stick with a person that they know isn't right, but nobody in their life is really calling out to them. Or once again, maybe they do have people in their life where, like, we'll go back to the friend analogy. Maybe that friend who's dating that person they shouldn't be with, maybe they have a bunch of, like, other friends who are also in bad relationships, and they, like, don't really, like, look up to them very much. And so, like, those people could be like, oh, you shouldn't see them either. But it's like, yeah, but I don't really value your opinion, or I don't really want to live a life like you, so what does it matter? But which is kind of sad, but this is just what's coming through. Whereas I feel like for you, I don't know if you know this, Paul, too, but a lot of people, like, really look up to you, whether younger than you, older than you, more advanced than you, not. There is this feeling of you being a very well put together person. Like, you've got your house in order, you're very smart, you're very capable, you've got a good head on your shoulders, you've got good morals. And if you kept quiet about certain things, now, like, I don't think it was a bad thing, it was just what you were doing, you know? But I think you've kind of gotten to a point, or you're getting to a point where you're gonna start to voice your opinions a little bit more. And it's really, oh my gosh, you're gonna be enlightening a lot of people in your life. And if they've been on the fence, you speaking up actually is going to get people to rethink and change their opinions or change their perceptions. And I feel like this is a little bit more specific, but I would say this. It's okay to speak your mind. You know, what I like about you is you have really nice, like, bedside manner in a way. Some of you could work in the medical profession, but you're really good at communicating with people in a way where they don't feel attacked. You're not being super harsh or anything like that, but you're clear about where you stand. I think you have a really good moral backbone. I think you're very intellectually honest. And I think that a lot of your opinions are based on fact and reality, which is sorely needed. And people know that. Like, people know that you're not really swayed. Like, people don't think that you're, like, delusional or anything like that. Like, if you say something or if you believe something, it's probably because you have very good reason to do so. And so I would just say, you know, if there's something that you feel called on to talk about or to voice your opinion, even if it's just to say, you know, I don't think that's okay, or I think that we should do things differently, or, you know, just because you like that doesn't mean it's right, or doesn't mean that it's a good thing, or just because you support this person doesn't mean that it's good for you or good for us. I think a lot of people will be shook by that, but it will create a lot of really positive change. I mean, I'm even seeing something like, hey, you know, you should go to the doctor. Or, hey, you know, you should get healthier. Or, hey, you should do some more research. You know, just something like that, where I think that you've been holding back a little bit, or you were holding back, and you opening up, number one, is going to make you feel better, because I think it's been weighing heavily on you. Some of the things that you've been holding back telling people, you know, maybe you should reevaluate that relationship. Maybe that person isn't really your friend. Maybe you should double check or get a second opinion, stuff like that. I think people are shook just because I think you've really tried to maintain the peace successfully. But it's okay to express your feelings, especially if you feel like it's going to be constructive or helpful or enlightening for people. Yes, with the Knight of Swords. Like, I think it'll have people shook, but truly, so many people in your life love you and value your opinion. And there are people who do follow your lead as well, whether you know that or not. So just, do it in a way that feels comfortable, do it in a way that feels organic. But you may have started doing this, or you may feel called to be like, you know what, let me just speak my mind a little bit more with the people around me. If you have a platform, if you have loved ones, friends and family, I think it could go a long way. Yes, it'll have people shook, but sometimes you need to shake people out to really get them to open their eyes and go on a better path. It's honestly a very beautiful energy pile too. That's what I have for you. Hermit in reverse, 2 of Cups. I think you're very well received, actually, truly. I don't even really see any hostility. I just see like, you know what? You're right. I value you. I admire you. You're right. And I'm glad that you said something. They might not say it that way, but that's how they're going to feel. That's what I have for you, pile 2. Great energy. Oh my gosh. Very, very beautiful energy. And a really nice rounding out of what this energy turns into. It's like shaking people for good, I love it, pile 2. That was beautiful. That's what I have for you. I do hope that resonated. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for being here. Special thank you to my Patreon patrons, those who book personal readings with me, and my channel members who get early access to these pick a card readings. But thank you all so much, and until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 3. So if you chose a 3rd pile, then this is your reading on why do you have people shook. Okay, so there could have been some sort of change or something that you're working towards in life that has people shook, number 1. So for some of you, you could be newly single. For some of you could be newly in a relationship, newly married, started a new job. There's something here where I feel like people you might be one of those people who doesn't share like every single thing going on in your life, but then when you like pop out and be like, hey, I've got this, things are established, things are moving. And I feel like people are a little bit shook. Now I'll be honest, with the Death card in reverse, I don't know if some people anticipated something to not last or for something to not like continue, but people are shook that you've been able to maintain some sort of success here. It's not even like I think people are shook that you maintain the success. Oh, I just heard people expected you to show off a lot more than you are. That's okay. The Moon and the 2 of Pentacles. Something about every time you like pop out, people are shook. I wonder what the Death in reverse is. Yeah, for some of you, like something about career or finances has people shook as well. Or just how far you're getting or how far you've come. Let's get some more. Yeah, 9 of Cups. Okay, some of you look really, really hot. I'm going to be honest. Some people could be really shook by you physically, especially if you're like taking good care of yourself and you kind of know if this resonates for you. I feel like when people see you, people could be real shook by you. I'm like even feeling that heat and that intensity. Also, for some of you, you have some sort of new beginning that's happening that has people really shook, like shocked. Like, oh my gosh, like they're really doing that. Or they really made that happen. I heard some of you are like losing weight, or some of you got that new job or started that new project or moved or got that apartment or that house or that car. Judgment. And the 10 of Wands. I kind of love your energy, probably. I'm going to be honest, pile 3. You let me know if this resonates for you with the King of Swords. So people find you to be a very intelligent person, but I feel like people are kind of shook by how intelligent you are. I'm going to be honest. For some of you, you look very attractive, and some people could assume that it's just looks. And if they like hear you speak or see your ideas or see you in action, they're like really shook. It kind of reminds me, that's like very common though. When somebody looks really good and then you find out they're also smart, I feel like people are always really shocked by that for some reason. Now, and the 10 of Swords. I'm gonna be honest. Some of you are like there's a lot of swords in your energy with the King of Cups. So you're very loving. But I think some people have either seen like your cutoff game, or they've seen that you can have a lot of like, I heard righteous indignation within you. So I think you have a really deep well of emotion in you. I feel like you're capable of a lot of love and warmth and joy and sweetness. I think also sometimes you can have a lot of like righteous passion within you. Like if there's something like really terrible happening, like people are always surprised by like if you get really like upset or angry, and I don't see you like acting out or anything, but people are just always surprised by the intensity or the depth of your feeling. Yeah, with the King of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Judgment, I'm gonna be honest, if you've ever told anybody off, or if you've ever like been very stern with someone or very blunt with someone, they were really shook by that. I don't think they were expecting that. Emperor, like people are shook by the fact that you're like an emperor. Especially, once again, I see a lot of people are attracted to you or find you very attractive, but they do not expect either how well spoken you are, how intense you are, how intellectual you are. Yeah, 2 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords. I'm getting a lot of specific things for you, Pile 3. People are also shook that you are not like stuck up or crazy materialistic. Like you do come off as very financially stable, and you seem like you have nice things, maybe a little bit luxurious. But if you believe that like money isn't everything or money isn't the most important thing, for some reason people are shook by this. Like if you're like, hey, you know, character is more important or goodness is more important than being rich, for some reason people find this very shocking coming from you for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, 9 of Wands. Also there's like a very specific, if this resonates for you, Pile 3, definitely check out one of the general messages I did today, where basically I said like, yes, like if you struggle financially, that will be a struggle, but that's not the only kind of struggle you can be in. Like you can be in a situation where you and your person have a lot of money, but it can still be really hard. And money isn't the only factor to consider when you're with someone. I don't know if people are used to hearing like just make sure they have money and nothing else matters, but if you don't believe that, people are shocked by that for some reason. I don't know if there's a lot of people saying like, you know, who cares how they treat you, just make sure they have money or something. I don't know if you live in like a materialistic place, but if you don't believe that and people know that, people are shocked by that as well. Or if you say make your own money, or if you make your own money instead of just like relying on somebody else, which I highly recommend. You know, it's great that your partner makes good money, and you should also make your own money too to be independent. I don't know. There's something here where people look at you and they assume like you look really good or you look really attractive. So you shouldn't be as smart as you are. You shouldn't be as independent as you are. Or you shouldn't be as nuanced as you are. You shouldn't care about other people or have strong opinions. People find you very, very attractive, and they are really shocked by the level of intellectual rigor that you are capable of, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. You kind of get this vibe where people just, like, people kind of look at you and they think, like, why don't you just, like, lay back and let people take care of you? Like, why don't you just, I don't know, it's weird. 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. Ooh, I feel like you're also very charming as well, too. Okay, 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. The way that you communicate with people can be very disarming as well. Like, you are actually very, very, very charming, whether you realize that or not. Yeah, the Justice. You can really sway people intensely. Oh my gosh. You are really good at neutralizing people's anxiety as well. You're very powerful, Pile 3. What I will say is this for you, Pile 3. I think that you have kind of figured out how to make sure that you have all your bases covered. So I think you understand that it's great to take care of your physical vessel, your body as a temple, and, you know, it can be very useful and helpful for you to look nice. I think also you understand that it's great to be educated. It's great to be sharp mentally. It's great to be independent and take care of your finances. It's great to connect with people who have similar values and can help you and you help them. It's like all your bases are covered. I think you're also really great at socializing. I don't even think you fully realize like how shook you actually have people. Yeah, the Temperance, and you're so balanced. Like, how do you have all your bases covered? I'm gonna be honest. Some people kind of feel like you're low-key, if not like, kind of like, I don't want to say perfect, but like perfect adjacent. And typically your energy will come through that way if you're like, I just want to strive to do my best in every aspect. And once again, no one is going to be perfect, except for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But you do strive to continue to improve in aspects of your life, and you come off as very finely tuned in pretty much everything. 10 of Cups, like, come on. 10 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. You continue to invest in yourself, and for some reason, people are really shook by this. Like, who is this beautiful specimen? Who is this handsome specimen? Like, how are you so smart? Like, how do you work so hard? How do you, like... And I think it just comes off this way because I don't feel like a huge portion of the population is really, like, trying to be like this. You know what I mean? I feel like you are honest with yourself, and I think you try to hold yourself to a certain standard, whereas you don't want to stay stagnant, you don't want to stay stuck, you're always trying to do better. That doesn't mean you're not going to have challenges, you're not going to have, faults or moments of setbacks or anything, but you always strive to get up and do better after you've recovered. And because of that, from other people's perspectives, you look like just very advanced. You seem like a very advanced person in every aspect, and people are shook by this. But I think so much of that is kind of obscured by your physical attributes, and I think you do take very good care of yourself. You look really good. And I think that's the first thing that people notice, especially once again, if you look put together, maybe you look like you have money. And I think that's the first thing that people fixate on. But then they're surprised that you're not just rigorous with like your physical looks or your career, but also with your knowledge and your intellect and your talents and your abilities. Like, you're not just the personality hire. Like, you are a personality hire because you're really nice to be around, but you actually ask them, like, okay, like, what are your skills? What are your attributes? And they're like, oh, I can do this, and this. I'm proficient in everything. And people are really shocked by that. Yeah, 5 of Cups. I'm going to be honest. People are a little sad. I do think you make people a little bit insecure. Especially maybe people of the opposite gender. Because especially if you're like a feminine energy or you're a masculine energy or you're younger, or if there's some sort of like power imbalance where like you should be less advanced than someone, quote unquote, they feel like you're more advanced or you're more talented or you're better in some way. And I do feel like that has some people really shook. Like, you are very competitive without being competitive. You compete with yourself to continue to improve and to continue to be better. And because of that, you're looking like, I just heard the next evolution. That sounds kind of wild, but like, you ever just see those people and you're just like, that's like that's somebody who's really like reached the next level. People are shook by you because they feel like you are next level, pile 3. That's what I have for you. Very impressed by this energy. There's a lot of intensity to it though, so I feel like you really have people shook. I just don't think many people know people like you. They're a little bit surprised, especially the depth that you have, even with this very well put together advanced image that you have. And when they realize that there's so much substance beneath that as well, I think you have a lot of people very shook by that. Impressed, but a little shaken up. All right, that's what I have for you, pile 3. Great energy for all 3 piles. All quite different, but all really, really beautiful. And I don't expect anything less from my collective. You all are phenomenal. That's what I have for you. Great energy. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me once again. And special thank you to my Patreon patrons, those who book personal readings with me, and my channel members who get to watch all of these pick a card readings early. Thank you all so much once again. And until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you.